This special S-Class interview with Dana DeLorenzo from Ash vs. Evil Dead is brought to you by Gamefly. Gamefly is a monthly subscription service that ships to you games and movies. It's pretty sweet if you're a gamer on a budget, or not even just on a budget, you just want to save some freaking money. How about that? So basically what they do is you give them a list of games that you want to play, like say Battlefield 1 or Titanfall 2 or something like that, and they send you the game, and when you're done playing, you send it back to them, and they send you the next game on your list. It's pretty sweet. There's a whole bunch of games that we're looking forward to playing. What are you guys looking forward to playing?
Call of Duty.
Tomb Raider.
Titanfall 2.
I'm actually looking forward to playing Battlefield 1. What about you, Blue?
I was going to say Batman VR, but I'm not sure if they're going to be carrying VR when it first launches.
Well, they'll probably be carrying the games, but not the actual hardware. Hardware's on you. And if you don't have hardware, say you don't have a console, you can actually do it through streaming. If you have what was it? It was a Fire Stick, a LG Smart TV, or a Samsung Smart TV. You can actually play games without a console. And they're like, good games. Like Batman was one of them. They had, I think, a COD on there as well, a few other games as well. So it's pretty sweet. They also do Blu-rays and DVDs. Same deal. So there's never a late fee as long as you're paying your monthly subscription service. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. If you do us a favor, go to gameflyoffer.com/BTHEMBTI, and you'll get your first month of subscription service for free. Once again, that's gameflyoffer.com/BTHEMBTI to get your first month of subscription for free. All right, and now, on with the show.
There is a story so strange in its implications that it defies ordinary classification.
Welcome to Black and the Black Times Infinity.
Infinity.
I'm your host, Cthulhu's Prodigy. Alongside me, we have Kr0nus, we have Blue, and we have the oldest ninja in the world. And
what up?
This is a special S-Class interview. We have the lovely and talented Dana DeLorenzo. What's up, fam?
Hi, guys. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on.
Awesome. Obviously, you are the kick-ass, awesome Kelly on Ash vs. Evil Dead. And we are so glad. This is our third interview with an Ash vs. Evil Dead actor, and we are impressed and loving this show. Can I start off with the very first question? Can you describe in your words Kelly's evolution from season 1 to season 2 and how it's been for you?
Okay. I think it's a pretty linear journey that she goes through, and what I think is so cool is that as the actor playing Kelly and bringing her to life, it's a very similar journey because we both were kind of thrown into this. With Kelly, she's just friends with Pablo and is a little bit lost in life after losing her mother, as we saw in the beginning of season 1. And she's working her first day at the value stop, hating life. And then this character, Ash Williams, comes and hits on her and makes an ass of himself, and she puts him in his place. And that establishes that very quickly. And then all of a sudden, there's a deadite Mrs. Johnson, throwing her up against the trailer walls, and her mother is back from the dead and putting a fork through her father's eye and trying to kill her. And then Kelly gets possessed, and it's like it's such a fast-paced journey for her. But because she's very, very smart, she's learning on the fly. And then, by midway of the season after she got possessed, she's got somewhere to channel her rage and take it out on evil, as we saw in the diner when she deli sliced and pulverized the deadite face. Mm-hmm. And by the end of season 1, she's having this epic battle with the cabin. But that really showed her. I think that really showed that she came into her own as this fighter of evil. It solidified her new family with Ash and Pablo. And then that brings us to season 2, where now, it's been like 2 months that they've been hanging in Jacksonville, and she is pissed off because she's like, okay, we're on this track, we're ready to go, and now I'm working behind a bar, playing,
She's ready to kick ass again.
Playing beer pong and keg stands with co-eds. Are you out of your mind? So Kelly has a lot of pent-up rage at the beginning of season 2, and only one mission, and that is revenge. So she just wants to stay on track, and she's a little bit frustrated. And as we've seen through season 2, Kelly's like the daughter Ash never had. Yeah. So in that kind of relationship, when they're on the same page, and they're making fun of the jerky kids who stole the car, and they're together. They're great, but when just like a father-daughter, when they butt heads, they butt hard. And Kelly flies the coop for a bit, teams up with Ruby, and now I think where her journey's at is it's very collective that there are all these signs influencing her to sort of forge her own path. Like, what was that weird evil Kelly? Was that a vision or was that real? And it says, why follow when you should lead? And then when Kelly says, maybe it was you I was meant to call. So we're going to start to see Kelly possibly unravel from the need for revenge, because, when you're out for revenge, it always works out. Yeah. Always works out. But also just, continuing in this way and forging her own path and trying to hold down the fort. She's trying to keep Ash together and help him out and protect Pablo. What the hell is going on with him in the Necronomicon? Meanwhile, firing bullets at crowds of people. Like, she's just trying to keep it all together for everybody. And it might not turn out too well, or it might. We have to wait and see.
Damn, Dana, you basically answered multiple questions in one. That was pretty badass.
Okay, we're done with our interview, so thanks for coming on.
No, we got more questions. That was really cool. Thank you.
No, I guess now is a good time to tell you, brevity is not my strong suit. This is why I became an actor, solely so that I knew when to end a sentence.
Oh. No, but it's great for
say dialogue that was written for me.
Oh, it's great for interviews, though. You gave us all kinds of information. So the special effects have been bloody glorious in Ash vs. Evil Dead. What was your favorite special effect shot in the film? And also, I'd like to also add is that you've had copious amounts of blood on you in the show. I'm
drowning in blood.
Is that on purpose, or is this like you volunteer for these things, or what's going on here?
Wait, sorry. So the first question is, what is my favorite special or practical effect in the movies or in the show?
In the show.
Okay, and then the other question is, why am I covered in copious amounts of blood?
Yeah,
Do I need to answer that question? It was really out of character for the show. They're just like, well, let's do something unexpected and cover her in blood. No, I had 26 gallons blasted at me in one scene alone, which was when I ripped the barman's arms off. 26 gallons. And I know that because on that day, when I walked the set, so I knew it was going to be a blood covering day. And when you walk on a set and everything is covered in plastic, including the cameraman, the cameraman that is sitting inside a tent of plastic.
Wow.
That's when you know, oh my God, it's going to be a very bloody day. And I just saw all of these like massive gallons, like big white tubs everywhere full of blood. And I asked one of the art department girls, her name was Anna, and I said, well, that's a lot of blood for today. And she's like, oh, this isn't for today, it's for you. And I said, that's just for me? Wow, okay. You don't happen to have an idea of how much blood that is, do you? And she's like, actually, I do, because I'm the one that had to make it.
Oh, damn.
So far right here, she's like, we have 85 liters, because, it's New Zealand, they use liters. So I, did a quick Google search. I'm like, oh, my God, that's 26 gallons. And so, yeah, but I loved it. It gets to a point where you want to see how much crazier it's going to get every time. And that was a lot. And then I got all excited and I asked the executive producer, Rob Tapper, hey, so now that I'm covered and it ended up being 30 gallons all in all. And so am I in some Hall of Fame for Evil Dead? And he goes, no. And I said,
wow.
But why? And he said Bruce had 400 gallons blasted at him in Evil Dead 2.
Damn.
Wow.
And I was like, yeah. And I just went, all right, hail to the king, baby.
Yes.
So, all right. I thought I was going to be so cool. But what is my favorite? I'm so bad with favorites. It's because it's so hard to go through the catalog in your mind of no, this one is my favorite. The favorite part, I guess for me, the one that just made me happiest was that damn deli slicer, because it was actually it was very, very involved, because it was a real deli slicer, obviously minus the blade, and the stunt Deadite girl, they actually had me like slam her face into it, and we had to do the beginning, and then it jams, and when I take the meat tenderizer and start just pulverizing the Deadite head, they've like put this, it was like this squishy Deadite head in there that had a tube of blood that would come out and shoot at me and shoot at the walls, but then also it was soaked in blood, so every time I smashed it with the tenderizer, it would just come at me and go on the camera, and it was super fun and super cool.
Nice.
Is the blood easy to wash out? Like when you get the blood all over you, is it easy to wash out, or are you like sticky for like a week?
Yeah, it's definitely like the week. It's the week. I mean, legitimately, what people don't talk about with the blood is it's not the blood going on always. That's the problem. I mean, sure, it like gets in your eyes and nose. It's like jumping into a pool and you haven't blown bubbles out and then you're like gagging on it. Yeah, that happens, but then it looks awesome and you're fine. But what no one talks about, and I don't know why, this is going to be the title of my book when the show is done, called When the Blood Dries.
Ooh.
Because that is actually the worst, and it dries within 5 minutes, and all of a sudden it reminds me of like Scene in 40-Year-Old Virgin with Steve Carell, where you just start yelling out non sequiturs like Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah.
Because it is, because that's exactly what it's like. It dries, and now it's in every orifice of your body, but it's also your clothes are now stuck to you. So someone's like, "Oh, hey, Dana," and I turn my head, and it feels like your skin is being ripped off. So, but it's really genius. Yeah, it does. But here's what's really genius about it, because then you are just begging them. I'm literally begging them, "Can we please just put more on? Can we put more on?" Just because it keeps it moist,
Oh, yeah.
So, but yeah, definitely. I mean, I have found blood on my body after a blood scene, definitely a week later, and that's after like 40, hour-long showers. But there's always a spot like right behind your ear. Mm-hmm. There's always a spot where like, and you don't notice it till you're like out at dinner eating a steak, and then you're humiliated because you're like, I have blood on my face. It's fake.
Like, what's wrong with this girl?
Wow.
But it's fun. You guys, I actually think I posted a photo way back when of what the showers, because they actually have a truck of showers, because you obviously can't go home in all that blood because it is, sticky and covered and everything. So you shower on set, and I've showered in my clothes because I couldn't even take them off, because again, it's like a wax. But it looks like, the showers look bloodier than the show. It is crazy. And of course they're like white showers. It looks like a massacre. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, damn.
Can you talk to us a little bit about how you got this role for Ash vs. Evil Dead?
Yeah.
I created a vision board.
Whoa.
A PowerPoint? You made a PowerPoint presentation?
Yeah, that's the secret.
I'm auditioning next season.
You what?
I said I'm going to audition next season now, and I know the secret.
Okay. Right now, you know the secret. Just make a vision board with Sam Raimi's face and Bruce Campbell and all that good stuff. No, I was working at a bar, being the typical struggling actor, and got the audition sent when I was supposed to be working until 2 a.m, and I was supposed to be there first thing in the morning and had 10 pages of dialogue. I mean, this is pretty commonplace, when you're hustling and busting your ass in the business. And I was like, the first thing I thought when I thought, I was like, okay, well, definitely, there's no chance in hell I'm going to get this job. This is such a big, franchise. They're going to go with a name, I'm never going to get this. And I think that ended up serving me, because I still don't believe that I actually have this job. Like, legitimately, every day I'm like, is my trailer still here? So do I still get a script? Because I'm pinching myself, because it's when you work very hard your whole life towards one goal, and you go through all the hard knocks. And that's what they mean when it's like the journey. Not to get all deep, you guys. Not to get all deep.
Preach on, girl.
When it finally,
Speak on it.
but really though, I mean, when it finally does happen, I see what they mean now. Where it's like, oh, this is so great, and it happens very quickly. I mean, the jobs I had before that, were like 10 seconds on a show as girl number 17, and and I had 15 auditions for those kinds of parts. It was crazy. Like, for one little line. And this one, it was an audition. It was a callback. And the next thing I knew, I was screen testing with Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi.
God damn.
So it happened. Yeah. It was one of the things where, like, I couldn't even believe it was happening. But I think that helped. And also, because I felt like I had nothing to lose, I just went for it. And, like, in the very first audition, there was, like, a scene where Pablo hits Kelly over the head with a frying pan. It was obviously just for the audition. But, like, I threw myself down on that concrete floor like I got hit with the frying pan, and I think they were like, oh, this girl's down to, like, injure herself. Cool.
And drown in blood.
Yeah, exactly. So I just had fun with the audition, and when I was doing the screen test with Sam and Bruce, I took the biggest risk of my life. I suddenly had, like, these cojones out of nowhere, and I did a scene, and Sam had given me direction. I did it once. He gave me direction. I did it again with his direction. And then he turned his back to me and was talking to the room full of producers, saying, like, okay, I want to edit the audition tape, so the first part of the first take goes with the second part of the second take, and I interrupt him. I interrupt Sam Raimi, who I've known all of 5 minutes. All of 5 minutes.
Did you know who he was?
And I go, yeah. And I go, well, why don't I just do it again? And the room, I swear to God, it was like,
You're like, no, that wasn't me that said that.
Yeah. And he turns around slowly in his three-piece suit, and he's like, what? And I said, well, why don't I just do it again? If it wasn't what you wanted, I'll just tell me what you want, and I'll do it that way. And he says, okay, I'll tell you what I want. And he said it, and I go, well, then why don't I just do it again? And he looks back to the producers and raises his eyebrows and says, well, I guess we're doing it again. And I know. But this is what's so crazy is that didn't even dawn on me till I replayed it in my head after. Like, I was like, well, this feels weird, but I don't know why, so whatever. Well, I did it again, and luckily I delivered, and he said, Dana, that was perfect. That was exactly what I wanted. You were right to trust your instincts, and I'm glad you asked for another take. And I do think that's what got me the job, is that I was able to I don't know.
Question his authority.
That I could do what he wanted. I don't know. But yeah, I still look at that, and I'm like, right now I'm pacing in my apartment, even reliving that, like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that to Sam Raimi. Dummy.
Great.
But it worked. It worked.
I got another question for you. So here's the deal. Pablo has had a huge crush, obviously, on Kelly, and has been down to smash, as they say, since season 1. Do you think that Kelly is finally going to take him out of the friend zone?
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay. Here's
I think the word is down to fuck.
Here's what. Okay, you guys watch the show. You're fans of the franchise, obviously. Yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So, what is rule number 1 in Fight Club? No, what is rule number 1 in Ash vs. Evil, or in Evil Dead?
She doesn't think we care about
people that get close to each other, or anyone that gets close, they're going to die.
Yep.
So I think Kelly is the brains of the operation, as we talked about. She's the voice of reason. Pablo is the heart. Ash is the brawn. And so I think what Kelly realized very quickly after being around Ash is the minute her and Pablo get together, one of them's going to lose a head. That's just what's going to happen. So I think, what it's one of those things, like, if you love someone, let them go. Like, I think Kelly is obviously very protective of Pablo, especially this season. And, she doesn't want anything to happen to either of them. But that being said, if we're following where they're at right now in the season, I mean, you do see them taking the relationship to a whole new level. There have been like several times where they almost kissed, I think.
Yeah.
So you'll have to see, you'll have to see if she's willing to let her guard down and follow her heart, or if the House of Evil always wins. Who knows?
All right. Would you ever be willing to drink the pink fuck in real life?
Oh, God. You know what? Yes, I would.
That did not take that long of deliberation. You're like, oh, yeah, why not?
No. First of all, because here's my first thought. When they were making the drink on set, which I think was, spoiler alert, not a ketamine drink in real life. But it was, whatever, food coloring and soda water and whatever. But what the ketamine, when you see Ted Raimi as Chet have the bag of ketamine, it was a ton of salt. And what ended up happening was they were sort of pre-made, and he was supposed to put the salt in the ones that no one was going to drink, and then just hand me the pre-made one, because I had to have a very small amount of liquid because I had to shoot it, because then it was my reaction. Yeah. Well,
this is going.
What ended up, what you end up seeing on screen is the very first take where he didn't put a shit ton of ketamine in it, he put a shit ton of salt in it.
Oh,
so
damn.
I literally drank the sea.
Oh.
Yeah,
That sounds all
exactly.
bad.
And you see my face. My face immediately is like, oh, and you got to keep going. So yes, after that experience of drinking the sea, I would absolutely love just to compare flavor. The ketamine pink fuck. Yeah.
All right. Well, we had one of your co-stars on the show, Ted Raimi,
Who gave you high praise.
Gave you really high praise. But he mentioned that you're really good at doing an impression. Who's your favorite actor to do an impression of? Either on the show or other actors.
Can I just say how amazing is Ted Raimi, by the way?
He was awesome.
He is watching him and Bruce together on set was like the Bruce and Ted show. Because Ted actually does a million impressions. Mm-hmm. He is the man of a million voices, and so does Bruce, which is a little known fact. So the two of them would just, at lunch be going back and forth as like John Wayne that Bruce does and JFK that Ted does. Oh my God, it was the funniest thing I've ever seen. And you're asking who is my favorite person to do an impression of?
Yeah, and can you do an impression of that person?
I've been a big fan of doing Miley Cyrus for 6 years.
Now you have to do it.
You don't have to
like,
if you want to.
Because they're like, I just like want to be like an artist. And
oh my God!
Oh man! I was like, who gave her?
I don't know what like y'all are like getting so upset about like pink fuck, because I have that like every day for lunch.
Oh man,
that's fucking spot on.
I was like, we get switched over. How did Miley get on the phone?
Okay, you throw the ass in a circle.
Oh,
that's awesome.
That's awesome.
Holy shit. Goddamn, I don't even know where to go from there. I got something for you, but so you're a huge star, and when you're out and about or whatever, are you aware that so many passionate fans, like, do they come up to you on the street now and tell you, hey, I love Kelly, I love the show, and what is that like? That experience with meeting passionate fans on the street.
Oh, and marriage proposals. I'm pretty sure you're getting a bunch from a bunch of fans.
I'm about to get on a knee.
I mean, if you're asking, I'll give you my dad's number.
Oh!
Yeah.
Well, let me.
I've said this over and over. The greatest and most surreal part of this experience is getting to meet the fans, and I mean that so sincerely. Because look, like I said, I'm just some girl from Ohio who just has always loved to entertain and has always wanted to be an actor. So I'm not any different. You see, like I'm still just from Youngstown, Ohio. So when when I meet someone that comes to me and says, "Oh my, I love Kelly and I love what she's doing for women in horror and I love the show and I've been a fan of the franchise forever," to like even be on the receiving end of that and that much love and passion is just so overwhelming. And it just, first of all, I always thank the fans because they're the reason this show exists. And I thank the fans for giving me a job because, the fans who've been around for 30 years have been pestering Sam and Bruce and Rob every year for like the past 25 years. When's the next Evil Dead? When's the next Evil Dead? So because of that, this show exists, and it is a bloody love letter to fans. And I'm just so grateful to them because, let's be honest, this show, this franchise was built about one man, one lone wolf, Ash Williams, played by Bruce Campbell. And we were taking a big leap of faith, asking the fans to accept not one, but two sidekicks. And that could have gone very differently. And I was, you know what I mean? Like, what if it didn't work? And what if they didn't accept Pablo and Kelly? So the fact that they have embraced us, and the fact that, yes, when I just see how excited they get about the show and hearing their anecdotes of like what film they saw first, what's their favorite, the time they met Bruce Campbell, and it's thrilling. You feed off of that, and that's why I do this in the first place. If I can be part of something that entertains you for 30 minutes to escape from life, to escape from everything that's crazy in the world right now, and you can just go in and slip into this insane world about a guy with a chainsaw arm, then that's my nirvana. That's my happy place. But it is strange, to answer the second part of your question. It is a little. I'm not like getting mobbed or anything, but it is strange when I'm like, at Rite Aid picking out, I don't know, like toilet paper or something, and a fan's like, "Oh my God, can I get a picture with you?" And I'm like immediately like, "Let me just put down this Cottonelle."
Two choir three.
So it's something I'm adjusting to, but it's because again, like I just forget. But it's been such a joy getting to meet them, and especially in groups like at conventions or Comic-Cons, and I think I freak them out a little bit because I get so excited to meet them that they're like, "Whoa, you're intense, Dana." Just wanted an autograph.
That's awesome.
Just wanted an autograph, and I'm like, I think he's so much. You don't even understand. I'm so grateful that you.
Wow, that's awesome. So we've asked this question of your other co-stars. Actually, I think we asked this of all of our celebrity guests. You've already admitted that you're not really big on favorites, but we got to ask, what's your favorite line from the show? I know there's a line in the show that is super crazy that you say is, "I will fuck your face with bullets." So I know that line is actually super crazy, but what's your favorite?
I'm glad that's your favorite because that was actually a line I came up with.
Nice!
Yes. Yes. And that's why her genius writers are so amazing that when you say enough of their brilliant dialogue and you're building this character, it starts to seep in a little bit. So I have to give props to all of our writers because they're the geniuses, and also it's a testament to them that they're willing to be collaborative in the same way that Sam Raimi was. And I think that he sets the tone for that, and they have followed suit. And it's just such a great, operation that way. Another favorite line. Can it of mine or just anybody?
Anybody. Yeah.
Oh God! Now I'm going to take 20 minutes to answer this question.
It's all good. So you have, I guess you have, some leeway on your lines. So you can improv, I guess, in the show?
Say that one more time? You
can improv on the show? I didn't know that. Because you said you came up with that line.
Oh, yeah. Well, that one wasn't even an improv. That one was when the script had come out. And I was, Kelly was screaming out the window so much in that episode that final one had to be, like, really over intense enough for her to say, "Oh, too much." So they had a line, and I said, "Hey, as an alt, basically meaning like, hey, in another take, just to give something different, can I can I say something like this? And the showrunner, Craig DiGregorio, was like, actually, just change the line to that. Yes.
Nice.
We do get to, the lines are so good and the dialogue's so good that when it comes to improvising, really the one who does that is Bruce. And that'll only be after they've already, he always is respectful of the words and does it because they do a great job. But, no one delivers a one-liner like Bruce Campbell. Nobody knows this role better than him.
Yeah.
But it's really funny when we're, like, in a scene together because we got to do a bunch this season. And, like, especially after the written dialogue of the scene is over, he'll throw in maybe a button, like another final line. And then I try and play topper with him just to see, like, how long we can keep going, which immediately I lose. It's like, why do I even try? I just want to, like, make him laugh. I just want to try and make him break because he makes me break all the time. And the best I got was after one, like, little improv. They yelled cut, and he goes, "Hey, that was good." And I was like, "Yes, okay, that counts. That counts then." A line. Can we pause that while I keep thinking? And
Keep it rolling.
So one of the other things we found out about you on, like, I think IMDb, you were working on a project called 3 Women. Could you tell us a little bit about that work and that project?
Yes, that is actually yet to come out. It is a star-studded cast: T.J. Byrne, Anna Camp. It's written and directed by Alex Bay, and right now it's a short film that will likely be made into a feature. And it's basically about how there are, without giving too much away, in any man's life there are always 3 women involved. And it's about this character that Alex Bay plays, and the ex-girlfriend, the current girlfriend, and the girlfriend he wishes he was dating. And it's interesting. It's a commentary on relationships, and it's very Woody Allen-esque, and it's smart and funny, and I'm really proud of it, and I hope it's coming out one way or another, whether short or feature, in the very near future.
That's cool.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to that.
Actually,
Yeah, it's fun.
I had a question. So you had talked about how you used to work like low-end jobs, but your Wikipedia page said that you did a little work as a producer on a radio show called...
We're citing Wikipedia now?
Well, the reason why I bring this up is because it said that you worked for the Man-Cow Morning Madhouse show, which used to be a show here in the Bay Area that I grew up listening to as a kid. How was it like working with the Man-Cow?
Yeah, I was the on-air personality, Marissa Sanchez, on that show, and also, producer. It was exactly as you think it is. I mean, if you've listened to his show, how insane and fast-paced that show is, and it's wild, man. I mean, it's like he always said it was like theater of the mind, and he is such a intelligent man that can just, whether you like him or not, he hits you with a lot at once. And every day it was like the greatest mental workout ever because I was just trying to keep up with him. But yeah, it was insane. It was there's no other word to explain it than that. And I'm very grateful for that because I feel like I was just right out of college when I got that job. So it really provided a lot of training, just in terms of improvisation and in terms of keeping on your toes, at the crack of 5 a.m. So it was a wild ride in a different way than this show is, but in a lot of similarities as well.
Cool.
Awesome. All right. Well, I think we're gonna start wrapping up. Can you tell us a little bit about the Stars app?
Oh my God, the Stars app! I'm so excited they finally came out with it. Because, most of my friends are like, I can't watch, I don't have cable. And I'm like, well, now you got no excuse. It's like I think it's like $9 a month. And not only can you watch our awesome show, Ash vs. Evil Dead, but all of their shows and tons of movies that then you can even just download. And I think they're even doing a free trial right now. So you can get on it, check it out, and you can watch it, obviously, anywhere on your TV and anything. computer, fall back. You know, I don't need to tell you what an app does.
What is this thing called a computer?
Exactly. But it's so great because you can. I'm just glad that they finally have it, because then you don't have to be at home on your TV or have cable to watch it. So that's how I've been navigating a lot of the show and watching the extras. There's a ton of extras for our show even on there. So I love it. So I think everybody needs to get it, because we're more than halfway done with the season, and there's so many big things coming too. Like, we're going to keep topping ourselves the rest of the season. And if you're one of those people who's like, I'm just going to wait for it to come out on DVD, then stay away from the internet for the next year. It's spoiled. You know, but it's going to be spoiled, and there's some huge stuff coming.
Dana, where can we reach you on Twitter or social media presence for yourself?
We as in fans.
It's I'm Dana DeLorenzo, and on Facebook it's just Dana DeLorenzo. But yes, because I think Dana DeLorenzo is some mud wrestler or something. It was taken. No, legitimately. So it's because that's me.
Awesome. We are going to chocolate bananas, but thank you so very much. This was excellent.
Yes, it was.
Do you want to say your chocolate banana
bananas.
line? Yeah.
Awesome sauce. Much love.
Awesome.
That is.
No, go ahead.
Thank you guys so much. This is so fun.
Yes,
Awesome.
It was awesome.
And I'm very much excited for you to see what's in store. And I hope I can talk to you guys again and get your full report on it.
Well,
Nice.
Hell yeah.
And I'm still waiting for your dad's number so I can.
All right.
Thanks, Dana.
All right. Thanks, Danny. Have a good day.
Done
all right?
and done, my friend. Done and done, my friend. All right, guys. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. Have a good one. Bye-bye.